redistricting plans in the Lone Star State discriminate against Black and Hispanic voters. And if you look at the maps, well, it's hard to disagree with that. Take a look for yourself. On the left, you see the current map. And on the right, you see what it will look like if Texas Republicans actually get their way. They have drawn a map to essentially solidify their power by silencing Black and brown voices. BNC correspondent Derrick Lewis looks at how the new district lines contradict the state's population growth and the ongoing battle against gerrymandering.
New congressional maps had to be redrawn after the U.S. Census reported more than 4 million people moved to Texas since 2010. Republicans drew the new districts that some say give Black voters less power to choose their representatives. The Justice Department is suing the state.
A core principle of our democracy is that, quote, voters should choose their representatives, not the other way around.
People of color make up 95% of the state's latest population growth. The new redistricting map by a Republican majority in the state House diminishes the rights of those voters, according to the Department of Justice.
That not having an effect on the maps and the kinds of districts drawn really frustrates the political power of populations that are in fact the majority in Texas.
The Southern Coalition for Social Justice works on redistricting issues. Advocates say the DOJ's involvement shines a spotlight on the problem.
I think it also helps raise the profile and understanding of how district lines can harm communities of color.
The state's Democratic Party has been fighting against gerrymandering in Texas for years.
There have been several lawsuits filed by Democratic leaders and advocacy groups across Texas to really make sure that the courts can review some of the racist gerrymandering that we've seen.
Dozens of Texas House of Representatives flew to D.C. over the summer to push for federal voting legislation. Advocates say that will make it easier to avoid voting rights issues in the state and focus more on the future of equality in voting.
We have a decade to really fix the process so that we can ensure that as communities grow across the country and across Texas, that when we get to 2030, we're going into that process in a fair manner.
I'm Derrick Lewis for BNC Amplified.
As we see by Derrick's package, 'tis the season, y'all. And that's the other season for gerrymandering. Now, 2 months ago, we talked about the post-census race to draw new congressional lines, and just as we expected, many of the new maps reflect a racial bias that favors white conservative voters who are trying to insulate themselves and avoid having their power and influence wrestled away from them by the true new American majority, which is made up of people of color. Now, I, for one, am thankful that the DOJ has decided to file this lawsuit to fight the redrawing of these maps. But this Texas case, we all need to remember, is not a fluke. It's just the latest and most egregious example of political map manipulation. Allow me to explain this further. The lawsuit says that Texas lawmakers are discriminating against folks who look like you and me and essentially giving the white vote more sway over the electoral process. But it's not just the Lone Star State. I've said it before and it bears repeating. Instead of us, the voters, choosing the politicians, it seems like they are the ones who are choosing us. And the consequence is that our voices and votes are diluted despite our numbers. Take a look at this. This is Maryland's 3rd congressional district. We like to call it the praying mantis. Somebody also once said that it looks like a comb that you wouldn't actually want to use. Next week, that state's General Assembly will consider how to address the redraw, which will be a fight for sure. But check this out. It looks absolutely ridiculous. And in this case, the Democrats are edging out the GOP with the advantage here in this district. Take a look at Pennsylvania's 7th district. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Latinos have seen sizable population gains, but political clout hasn't actually followed those gains. The numbers are up 43% there from 10 years ago, but by the look of this map and the way that, I mean, guys, this is just ridiculous. This map doesn't even connect, it looks like, in some places, this district. From the looks of it, I mean, good luck to the black and brown people who are now being disenfranchised by those lines. The Brennan Center says that a decade ago, the GOP's goal of redistricting was to omit the so-called left-leaning areas there. And by the look of the way this is all drawn, it's clear that they're actually fulfilling their strategy of trying to omit left-leaning districts, which ultimately marginalizes people that look like us. And then what you see on your screen here is North Carolina. Now, this map looks to be grouping minorities into two different districts. And let me tell you what's been happening in North Carolina. You might have been following the news and saw that North Carolina's Representative G.K. Butterfield, who is a longtime member of the Congressional Black Caucus and in his younger days was a big voting rights advocate in this state, he has announced that he is retiring. And he's given up his seat because G.K. Butterfield's seat was originally 44% black, and 9% Hispanic. And now with the GOP's gerrymandering, it's now less than 40% black. And also that district has been convoluted to bring in more rural voters, which, wink, wink, means more white people from out in the rural areas. And so there's the situation now in North Carolina is that out of the 14 congressional districts, Democrats are only situated in a way where they may be able to win four out of the 14. And I want to remind you of North Carolina. North Carolina was a state that Barack Obama won when he ran for president the first time. And this was a big deal because not unlike Virginia and Georgia, which we just saw go blue, North Carolina was a state that we thought was going to be a bellwether state. Barack Obama won it. Well, Republicans got real mad. And they got real mad and they made a bunch of crazy maps and did a lot of things. And now we have a situation, as you just saw right there, where North Carolina is a bit of a lost cause in this moment for Democrats. None of this gerrymandering is fair. None of it is designed to be. And that is why we talk about it, because when things aren't fair in our systems, we are the ones who get disenfranchised and marginalized. I'm going to keep talking about gerrymandering because it's a very big deal. So y'all stay tuned. We will have these conversations a lot. We will be right back. There is more to come on Amplified, so keep it right there.